how do you think about creating offers that convert on LinkedIn?
Yeah. So as far as creating offers on LinkedIn, or just really creating offers in general, there's three different verticals that you can take. The first one is you have to portray yourself as a company or a provider that helps other companies save money, make money, or you fear them, like scare them into making a decision. So for example, we have industries like if you're doing marketing for compliance, for example, that would be sort of a scare tactic. For marketing, however, it's always going to be making them money. And as agencies started to grow, the trends for what messaging worked shifted drastically. People before used to not add guarantees. They used to just say, hey, I do marketing. Great. Other people used to talk to them as far as outbound. Then we started getting into guarantees. And now the trend is profit sharing. So basically, you would reach out to a company and you would say, look, I'll run this marketing for you, but our incentives are going to be aligned. And I will only make money if you close a deal, or I will make money or whatever. You guys cover our retainer and then we'll make money when you guys close the deal. So basically, people really care right now about aligned incentives. And so that's what we use at Grow Big Ventures. We literally only make money if deals close. And it's been working very, very well. And that gives us the upper hand in this sale as well. But yeah, that's as far as the messaging goes.
So what's the best approach for an agency right now that wants to sell like Facebook ads? Should they create an offer or should they just jump on to Join Valley and like let this personalization take it over?
Yeah, so that's a really good question. The only time we use personalization is when the offer sucks and there's nothing we can do about it. That's why I use like SEO as an example, because most of the time it's really hard to articulate what SEO can do, because for different people SEO does different things. And so there's no final outcome for what SEO does. And so the replacement of a good offer is a really personalized message, a hyper personalized message. As far as creating a really good offer, on the other hand, it's if you can obviously make clients money or save them money. And so what I like to always start with as far as LinkedIn goes, and I'll log into here as well and show you a few examples, is, let's see here, is an opener. And most openers, like people read the first 10 or so words of the message. And if you like open up your LinkedIn app and you look at all the messages that you have, you're going to see the first few words, and that's what most people read. And so it's important to hook them in the subject, which is extremely important. Okay. And it's really important to hit them in the first 5 to 10 words. So for example, subject can be client intro. And then the actual body of the message could say, are you open to signing more clients on a results basis, for example? Okay. This will get people to open the damn message. People will want to understand what is going on. First, they see client intro, which is a tiny bit bait and switchy, I do agree, but they see that and they automatically think, okay, intro to clients. Are you open to signing more clients on a partnership on a results basis? My team and I will guarantee you land 5 to 10. This is like the most sort of basic type of messaging that you can use. My client will guarantee X result. So you will land 5 to 10 new customers in 90 days through AI, through ads, AI, or let's just say ads, or we will work for free until you do so. So
Now, is that messaging and offer still working these days?
if you send enough, it does. Um, it is all about volume, and and it's always been working. The only thing is, the only sort of addition that I want to add is people will book a call using this message always, because there's always companies that are looking to get more clients. But what happens on the sales call is more important than the actual message itself. And so if you can jump on the meeting and you can say, hey, yeah, so I know we said we'll guarantee this, but I'll give you a better one. Rather than just giving you a guarantee, for example, why don't we just work on a revenue share basis where we only profit once you close clients? And obviously, we need to still charge that retainer because that covers the cost of tools, that covers the cost of our team. But we also want to keep a percentage of the sales that we bring you. And then that way, our incentives are aligned. And most, like, it depends if you're, what niche obviously you're going after. If you're going after SaaS companies with high margins, you could do a revenue share. But if you're doing like products, for example, ads for products, they have a very small margin, and you might want to do a profit share. So you take a percentage of the profits after expenses as well, and that can add up. That can add up very well. You take a percentage of the profits after expenses as well, and that can add up. That can add up very well.
What's a
Yeah.
revenue percentage or profit share that has worked for other agencies?
Usually 10 to 15% is what we do. Um,
Of revenue?
but yeah, of the client that you guys bring them. But that's also a negotiation tactic. And sometimes with, if the company that you're working with is high ticket and they're selling a high ticket product, we've had companies that we work with that sell something for like $50,000, for example. And sometimes they're not always comfortable with that percentage. So you can leverage that to get a better cost for yourself, a better retainer for yourself. So you might say, yeah, so this is the average of what we do. We take a revenue share, but if you're not comfortable with the 15%, we can bring it down to like 10 and then just increase your cost by $1,000. That way our team can actually profit. And then they'll be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. So it's a really good negotiation tactic on actually closing the deals.
Like, what else would you say for agency owners in terms of building that out? Because, like, you showed a really good one where it's my team and I will guarantee you 5 to 10 new clients, whatever. Like, are there other ones that you could suggest?
Yeah. The easiest one. And this is if you want to do market research and don't have necessarily an offer, and you want to build something that that you can use later. It would just be, I put together, because offers are good, but I use offers on sales calls. Like most of our offers are for sales calls. The only reason why we do messaging for outbound and why it's important to have the right message is to get as many booked calls as possible, so then we can present it in the offer. But revenue sharing is 10 out of 10, as mentioned, one of the best offers that I've personally done, because it puts you on a pedestal for that client. So even if you're charging more, for example, you're not competing with the next guy, because most likely they don't want to pay someone that their incentives are not aligned with. But as far as like another offer goes, it's like, hey, I put together a free guide on X problem to help you find X solution. Can I share it with you? This is not a traditional like message at all as far as agency offers go, but it gets a lot of people to respond. And as long as you can get someone to respond and they give you the okay for you to reach out to them, you can give that lead a call or send that lead an email, get in contact with them essentially and convert them. This is really good if you have very low sending volume, but you want a lot of leads who are qualified.
If you're an agency owner looking to scale, you definitely want to explore our solutions at Stealth White Label Agency. With 14 years of experience and over 120 niches, we've been helping agency owners not only fulfill for their clients, but also acquire new clients so you can only focus on scale for your agency. If you're interested, definitely DM me, Joao, on my Instagram, or comment below and somebody's gonna reach back to you. Back to the podcast. What are already talked about one of the tools, right? But let's recap, and then you can share some other tools that would be the best for LinkedIn
Yeah.
outreach.
As far as LinkedIn goes, LinkedIn only works if you use InMails. If you use connection messages, that can work, but the process just to get somebody to respond on connection messages is way longer than InMails. And InMail is a direct message that goes into the prospect's inbox. A connection message, you have to connect with them first. They have to accept the connection. You have to wait, send the message, and then wait for them to respond. And that's where you book the call. A InMail skips all these steps and just lands in your inbox. And so and then this is real sauce here on LinkedIn, if you send InMails to only open profiles, which are individuals that have also purchased premium or recruiter, or they're paying LinkedIn for a subscription, you will be able to send 800 InMails per month per LinkedIn account instead of 50 to 100, which is what most people think that the subscription allows for. So if you go to LinkedIn and you see your credits, for example, it shows you like 50 credits, 100 credits, unless you do it this way. And the platform that I really like to use is called Linked Helper. Linked Helper it costs $15 per month. We've never, like most tools that we use, we've always had to reach out to their support team. There's always been issues, and it's just back and forth with the provider, especially if it's like a LinkedIn tool or anything along those lines. Linked Helper, I don't even know who I don't know a single person from their team. I just downloaded the tool and we use it. Linked Helper, what it does, and I'm loading it here as we speak, is it allows you to scrape data, again, just for $15 from LinkedIn itself. And then it allows you to put everything into a CSV file and paste it into sending tools. And let's say you scrape a lead list of 2,500 individuals. Every scrape that you do, you can only scrape 2,500 at a time. And as you're scraping it, you can actually use this tool to split two lists and have one be open profiles, which are the people that you send InMails to reach the 800 InMails, and then have another list with non-open profiles, which you only send connections to. And that way you can split a list up and be as effective as possible as far as sending goes.
The sauce is that you should be sending it to open profiles.
Only open profiles.
You should be sending emails to open.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's going to like 8x the output, basically.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And I'm opening up the tool as we speak. When you pull this list from Linked Helper, you download it as a CSV, as mentioned. And what that looks like, and I'm going to blow your mind, because sometimes, I could talk about how it works all day long, but I just want to show you, I guess, what our channel looks like. If we go to like our bookings page, so if you go to Grow Big Ventures bookings, this is just LinkedIn. We paused email for a while. We have SDRs going in and calling these leads, telling us his initial message today, blah, blah, but like this is just today. These are all the bookings that came, and it's 10 a.m.
Wow.
Okay. This is our yesterday.
Crazy.
Here, I'm gonna go back to the days just so you guys. I think the most we've gone in a single day so far was about 50 meetings booked on the calendar, and obviously we have appointment setters who set these appointments, and then we have an intro calling team. But essentially, this volume comes from InMails and InMails only, Infinity Screen. This is the Linked Helper platform. It's still loading, so I'll share with you how to actually pull that lead list and essentially how you can split the list up. And in the meantime, I want to show you how you can actually create that CSV file to import into a platform like HeyReach. HeyReach and the CEO, Ilya, we have a very large contract with them with thousands of seats for LinkedIn. And so they give us preferred pricing, let's just put it that way. And if anyone is looking for HeyReach super discounted, reach out to Joao. Joao will help you with that. And Joao, reach out to me. And basically, how it works is once you go to create a campaign, there's this lead section right here. And if this wants to load up, as you can see, there's connection, InMails, okay? And then account name. So each list is different. And you can see this came from the same pull. So the same scrape got this number and got this number. So combined, this is one lead list that we got. However, we had to split it up into, again, InMails and into connections. And there's a feature on LinkedIn called recently active. If you turn on the recently active, you're going to get more open profiles. Okay. And so the goal is to get as many open profiles as possible. I don't even care if we send connection. We don't even track connection messages. That's how little we care about connection messages. What we care about is the InMails. And if you have a lead list of 800, which is the number I always try to get to when creating campaigns, then you can set this like one account up and keep it there for a month. You don't have to worry about it.
Do you think these tools have an advantage, like a big advantage over other tools that do outreach, that you can still like filter for people and then create a sequence to reach out to them? Like Dripify, for example, that's a tool that I've used. Do you think there is any like significant benefits?
The cost savings is super significant because all these tools are good, but out at volume, how they perform at volume for me matters a lot more in the cost, obviously, than the tool's interesting features. Because for us, it's always been a volume game, and that's how we've scaled pretty much indefinitely, right? For the last 2-3 years, we've been scaling. And it's always been a volume play. And so HeyReach, the really cool thing about HeyReach and why I love HeyReach is because it's cheap and it does the job. And it doesn't often have issues. We used another tool, and I think for HeyReach, we're paying like, I want to say closer like $3,000. The last tool per month, the last tool we were using, we were paying closer to $8,000 a month.
Where you pull the list from, how are they pulling those lists?
Yeah, great. LinkedIn Sales Navigator is what we use. LinkedIn Sales Navigator is extremely expensive because in order for you to be able to send the amount of InMails that you need to send, you need to have Sales Navigator Premium. They recently changed it. You have to have Premium, which costs $180 per LinkedIn account. And so for an agency like us that wants to have 100 accounts, that can cost a lot of money just for Sales Navigator. And then obviously we have other like businesses, and we provide Sales Navigator companies that we work with and stuff like that. It costs a lot of money. So what we did is we signed an enterprise deal with LinkedIn that provides us Sales Navigator discounts, essentially. And that's how we've been able to scale, because it's increasing volume, decreasing cost, which increases the return on investment / cost per lead. And for us, everything else is a vanity number as outside of cost per lead.